In today's FX markets, let's take a look at the Japanese yen futures as they're experiencing some selling pressure today. Yen futures coming off of 5 consecutive days of higher price action, and yesterday we did see the futures market reach its highest level since early January before reversing some today and down about 1%, so giving back some of the recent higher price levels, but nonetheless still at the top end of the recent range, which corresponds with the top end of the range really going back to the beginning of the year. And when you look at the driving factors, it really is a couple things here. Recently, volatility appears to be one of the primary drivers as we're seeing big swings in other asset classes, particularly the equity markets. When you look at Japan the last couple of days, certainly we've seen it here in the U.S., but Japan has had some extraordinary moves in their equity markets. And I think, again, that's a driving factor as to price action. Couple that with the Bank of Japan. The shifting dynamic within central banks is the other big factor that really, I think, was the initial catalyst for some of the volatility that we're experiencing. With the Bank of Japan coming out a little bit more hawkish and a little more aggressive than what the market had anticipated as far as their rate policy. And that caused a big shift that led to higher price levels for the yen and created some selling pressure across the globe, which has again worked its way into other asset classes. And we're seeing again a shifting dynamic between central banks, majority of the central banks, and the Bank of Japan, and that has been a theme for the last several years. And so that's another factor, I think, contributing to the price action. Now look at the Japanese yen coming off here. We are trading at the highest level since January, and really it's been a culmination of just the last couple of weeks to accumulate or negate, I guess, some of the selling pressure that the Japanese yen has experienced so far this year. And when you look at the other major FX futures markets today, we're seeing a mixed levels, really, when you look at the price action in response to some of the other dynamics in the market, particularly the volatility that we're experiencing in other asset classes. So today you're seeing the euro, the British pound, and the yen under some pressure, with the Japanese yen realizing some of the heaviest selling pressure. But then you're seeing the Australian dollar higher and the Canadian dollar higher. So again, mixed price action within the FX futures markets. But the Japanese yen coming off of basically a almost 8-month high to give up a little ground here today, down about 1% on the day, but holding on to the top end of the recent range.